Hey, Mondi. What's up,
Hey,
man?
hello. What's
News,
up? How's it going?
reviews, tidbits, factoids, and tabloids. Is that what we added recently?
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah.
things to discuss, man. Let's get into it.
It is. It is. So you watched the animated film The Bad Guys last year, right? You said it was horrible.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Well, it's coming back. It's getting a sequel. The Bad Guys, A Very Bad Holiday, is releasing
What?
November 30th on this year on Netflix. I haven't seen a single
Okay.
trailer for it. However, the OG cast is not returning. It feel like a whole bunch of like really like big names, and so obviously they knew it wasn't that good, and so it's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
Like replacing an entire ensemble with a whole new voice cast is kind of crazy when you have people like big voice actors. But yeah,
I don't even remember a single voice actor from the first one. And I feel like that was like one of my problems with the movie. I was just like, who the fuck are these guys voicing these characters that are doing this story that we've seen a million times? Shout out to the
I'm
bad
looking it up
guys.
right now.
Shout out to them.
Sam Rockwell,
Never
Justin
heard of
Hammer
them.
from Iron Man 2, Justin Hammer from
Okay,
Iron Man 2,
got it.
Anthony Ramos, the guy that you just started in Transformers, the Spanish guy,
Yes. Okay.
Aquafina,
Oh.
Zazie
Okay.
Beats. Yeah, so I mean, it had a good little cast there.
Okay. Cool. Got
Uh,
it.
but yeah, it's coming. Kids, it's coming November 30th. Anyway, uh, a
Netflix.
Doug a Doug sequel series is in the works at Disney Plus. Remember Doug the show
Do do
with
do 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 do. Do I remember Doug? Bitch. Hell wrong with you? Yes. Cool. Let's
Patty
go.
Mayonnaise, Skeeter, they're all back.
Okay.
This
It's a
this
crazy
series
name.
is gonna focus on the kids of Doug and Patty Mayonnaise.
Oh,
So
brother.
yeah, yeah,
Boo, boo, boo. Boo.com. So this is just Raven's Home. This is just
yeah,
Girl Meets World. I don't want it. No thanks. Make new and original
yeah,
content.
yeah. Yeah, agreed. A
Mm-hmm.
new Suits series is in development at NBC Universal. I know you're a fan of Suits.
Mm.
The Suits universe.
Yeah, I was about to say, set in the Suits universe. Whoa. Somebody said, nigga, you mean New York? Like, the fuck are we talking about? Like the Suits cinematic universe? That's like a thing now? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. Cool. I mean, they already made one spinoff with Jessica Pearson. It lasted for one season. So this is their attempt to do it again, I guess. It sounds like, they're not gonna have Mike and Harvey. It's gonna be like completely new and fresh. So we'll give it a chance. We'll give it a chance,
I'm
I
guessing
guess.
the uptick in people watching the show on Netflix has probably led to
Of
the
course.
creation of this because it's been getting a lot of streams lately.
Yep. Yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
a live action Gargoyle series is in the works at Disney Plus for all my OG Gargoyles fans. The cartoon.
This is crazy to me. I don't
This
get
is
why.
nuts.
This is like one thing that should stay anim. Like, how are they going to do this live action? Like what the fuck? Like, all of the
Uh,
characters that are important, except for the lady cop, are gargoyles. Like, who gives a fuck about anybody else in the story? So, like, what are they going to do? And Keith
I
David better
mean,
be voicing Goliath. That's all I got to fucking say about that.
I think gargoyles are a creature that you can have prosthetics on. You don't have to CGI
You
gargoyles because
finna
they're
have me
like
looking
humanoid.
like the '90s Ninja Turtles out here. Like, what?
No, no, like they're bipedal. They're humanoid.
Oh, here we
Uh,
go. Okay.
I feel like you can definitely do a prosthetic work and get some gargoyles, but that's just crazy. The fact that they're, I mean, I would love a gargoyles reboot, but I want a cartoon. I don't need the fucking live action gargoyles. And James
Yeah.
Wan's attached to it, and yeah, so
We know you love
we'll
James
see.
Wan.
Yeah, uh, Matthew Vaughn. I got a couple stories about this nigga. He
Okay.
confirms that Kingsman 3, of course, he did the Kingsman movies and X Men First Class, and the new Argyle movie coming out next year is in the works. It's still happening. So I guess the King's Man doesn't count as a Kingsman 3. I was like a prequel, which I actually enjoyed. I think no one
Hmm.
really watched that movie. Did you watch the
Hmm.
King's Man?
I don't think I did actually. No.
Okay, but you watched Kingsman 1 and 2, right?
Right. Hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. Kingsman 3 is happening with Eggsy returning. So are you excited about this? As a Kingsman fan?
Am I excited? I guess so. I mean, the first one was still really good and original and like really, really refreshing to see. And
Yeah.
then they made a sequel, and I was excited about the sequel, but like they there was like a big spoiler in like the trailer for the sequel, which kind of ruined the movie
Mm.
for me to an extent.
Oh,
Um,
with the Colin Firth character.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I still don't know why that decision was made. Like it was like really ridiculous to like spoil that in the trailer, but whatever. And then yeah, I mean, I'm I'm sure Part Three is going to have its its quirks, just like the King. I mean, I'm sure it's going to feel like a Kingsman movie. Supposedly, it's supposed to be focusing on the rise of Hitler. Okay,
Mm.
so cool. Let's do it. I guess. I mean, I'm here for it. Why not?
Wait, the rise of Hitler, but this is present day. How could that be the case?
I don't know. That's what was reported. It's supposed to focus on the rise of Hitler, which you're right doesn't make sense canonically because they were in present day, the first two films, but maybe
Unless
this
this
is
is
more of a sequel to the King's Man because the King's Man was set in 19 well in
yeah.
World War I, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, but
So
it said Kingsman 3, and honestly, I mean, I feel like if you're a fan of Kingsman, I feel like the Kingsman's worth the watch. It's not a great movie, but it's a really good addition. It's different and it's fun. Daniel Kaluuya. It also stars Ray Fine, Voldemort himself,
Lord
who does really
Voldemort
good.
himself.
Daniel Kaluuya and John Boyega were actually in the running for the role of Eggsy in the Kingsman, for the first Kingsman movie. Did you have seen it? Either one of them?
For sure. I for sure could have seen literally either one of them doing it. Um, would it have been better if they were black? Probably, but I still love.
Taron Egerton.
Thank you, Taron Egerton as Exy. So yeah, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, I love Taron Egerton as well, but I think both Boyega and Kaluuya would have knocked it out of the park, honestly.
Hmm.
And yeah, they both would have been great choices. And also, Matthew Vaughn says he plans to reboot the Kick Ass next year. Did you ever watch Kick Ass?
I think I watched the first one when it came out all those years ago. I did
Mm-hmm.
not watch Kick Ass 2 because the
Okay.
first one was just like, okay, like it's fine, but like this isn't really my thing. So I just kind of left it in that realm of over there stuff. But shout out
Yeah.
to Kick Ass 3, I guess.
No, it's going to be a reboot.
Mm,
I actually really enjoy Kick Ass. Kick Ass 2 is not as memorable as Part 1, but I think I remember enjoying it. But the fact that it's getting rebooted is kind of interesting. Sure, I'm here for it, I guess. Uh, Ryan Johnson, director of the Knives Out movies and the horrible effort called The Last Jedi, says he is now working full force on Knives 3. His quote is, "I've got a premise, I've got the setting, I've got the movie basically in my head." Um, are you
okay.
excited for Knives Out 3? Did you watch Glass Onion ever?
I did, yeah. I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I cut it off right at the part where they were trying to explain everything about how, actually, it wasn't this girl that died; it was her twin sister. And yeah, I was like, okay, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you cut it
Um,
off.
yeah, literally, I cut it off. I was just like, I thanks for this journey that I've been on, but I don't care anymore. Um, Knives Out 3. I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance. Sure. I hope it's another Netflix original, and I don't have to go to the movies to watch it. But yeah, I honestly don't care because it sounds like we're not getting this for another 3 years. Like this nigga said, yeah, I got all these ideas, but I literally haven't done anything. So cool.
Yeah, the whole twin twist is kind of lazy when you're doing that kind of storytelling. But I was like signed to roll my eyes, but they actually execute. I think it's worth continuing to watch. They actually the plot actually unfolded in a really satisfying way for the Glass Onion. So I think it's worth continuing for people who haven't seen it. So yeah, I'm excited for Knives Out 3. I would love a black cast, but I know that would never happen because Ryan Johnson.
It's
Like, why
not.
would he do that? Yeah,
Yeah.
he has no incentive to do that. And I don't blame him for not doing that. But selfishly, I would love like an all black cast of just like iconic people in Black Hollywood. Like Sanaa Lathan, Cedric the Entertainer. That'd be just so cool. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even want Ryan Johnson to touch that because he wouldn't know how we act anyway. So it's just like a
Adam
fever,
saying, "Sweet Christmas out here."
right? A fever dream of mine. But yeah. I only have one movie review. Did you watch any movies? I know you didn't. Did you watch Exorcist yet?
No, I didn't. We're gonna go see it today.
Oh, okay. Do you watch any shows?
No,
Are you watching Loki 2, season 2?
I am. Yeah, I've seen the first two episodes of Loki season 2, but yeah, do I really want to give thoughts on that
No,
already? I
no,
don't
no,
think
no,
I
no,
do.
no, 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 no. I was just asking. I wasn't saying thoughts. I was
Well,
just asking.
I do want to say this.
Uh oh.
It's not fair that people are trying to shit on the show so hard already when there's only been two episodes out and there's only been four total episodes out for review. So like there's all these people that get paid to review things that are trying their absolute hardest to say that Loki season 2 is just ass. And longtime listeners will know that Loki season one was not my favorite. In fact, it was my least favorite thing that Marvel has done. But I think
Really?
aside from maybe like I Am Groot, like that shit was just stupid. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, like Loki season one in terms of like the shows was not my favorite, and I don't think that it. But even saying that, I don't think it's fair that people are trying to shit on it when it's like it's not even out in its totality. So let's just. I mean, I say this every time, but like let's just stop and let's just watch it and let's just consume it first, guys. Yeah, that's it. We can
It's so
continue.
crazy how different people's timelines are so different. I've seen nothing but praise for the show. I haven't seen a single complaint about Loki.
Really,
That's crazy. I've seen nothing but praise.
aside
Interesting. Interesting.
from that X-Men thing that they try to do with the door, which is really cool, I've
Hmm.
seen nothing but people saying this show is boring as fuck. There's nothing happening. What's the overall
Wow.
plot? Here we go again. Da 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 da. I'm just like weird. Wow. Like
Wow. I've seen
I need to
complete.
start blocking these pages. I guess I don't know.
I've seen the complete opposite. Interesting. Well, the movie I saw was called Nowhere. It's a Netflix release. It came out in September. I only watched it because I kept hearing a lot about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
After you do this, I want to talk about the Wolfman in 2010 because I actually rewatched that on Netflix. But go ahead.
Okay. Cool. Well, this movie is on Netflix right now. It's actually in Spanish. The characters come from Spain. The English dub was so goofy. I had to literally turn it off like 5 minutes up and just like read the subtitles. Like I hate when
Oh
like English.
no.
I know having to read. I hate when these movies do this English dub and the voices are like, "Oh my god, we have to go to the police station. We have to go now." Like, no, like, why can't you just do like get a competent voice actor to actually portray whatever the emotion the actor is trying to give, whatever. But yeah, so I watched it in Spanish. I thought it made the movie that much better. It felt more real or whatever. Um, this is one of those movies where something constantly horrible is happening to the protagonist at all times, like kind of like Prey that came out last year. It's like just constant, like, oh my god, like what can happen next to this poor woman? Um, Plot in a nutshell is that she is traveling with her husband. Spain has become like this war territory. She's trying to get to America, I believe, or somewhere where there's not any war. And she's
Mhm.
traveling in this cargo, this ship containment cargo, and it gets spilled over into the ocean. And she has her husband ends up, getting taken away from her, and she's surviving in this cargo shipment, floating in the ocean for like months at a time. So she has to get food. She has to deal with injuries and deal with storms. It's one of those kind of movies, you know.
Okay.
And the main actress I thought did amazing. Her name is Anna Castillo. She's a Spain actress. She was just like honestly like one of the best performances of the year. I did not expect that kind of performance in a movie like this. I just think all Netflix movies are going to be ass out the rip, to be honest. Um, and this movie is like it's got just some great scenes. Like I was like, oh my god, like this is actually really kind of like some creativity and some artistic vision behind this. It kept me invested the entire time. A bulk of the movie is like takes place in this woman trapped in like a shipping container floating in the ocean. And so those kind of movies where it's one setting the entire time. You got to keep it flowing. You got to keep the pacing going. I thought the movie did manage to actually do that. Um, and yeah, my faith has been restored in Netflix original films briefly. I know it's gonna go to hell with the next one I see, but this is actually a decent watch. I gave it a B. Nowhere on Netflix.
All right.
Um,
I like it.
so please give me your Wolfman 2010 review. I watched this one time. I remember liking it if I recall. But go ahead.
So okay, so I watched this in theaters when it originally came out in 2010, but I remembered basically nothing about it. Every year in Halloween
I'm
in
sorry. This
October.
is the one with Anthony Hopkins, right? Or is that a different movie?
Yes. Nope. Yep.
Okay.
Anthony Hopkins, Benedict
Okay.
Del Toro, Emily Blunt.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
every year around this time and around the holidays, Avi and I we like to watch scary movies, and then we watch holiday movies during the holidays, like literally everybody else. Anyway, 2 or 3 days ago, we watched The Wolf Man. It was on Peacock, I think. I don't remember why I decided The Wolf Man, but I was like, yeah, I'm feeling it. Let's just do it. Because honestly, like you know, the Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, those are like the three oldest horror tales that we have as like it's like man. Like these are like the three oldest stories. They're some of the oldest films that we've have ever in terms of when films started to be made in like the 30s and the 20s and shit. So I wanted to watch this reimagining to see if it could capture just something for me. And unfortunately it didn't. It really didn't. I I liked the first half of the film when like they're building up the suspense, the Wolfman is still a mystery. Obviously, we don't see him a whole bunch, but like the overarching plot is still about the Wolfman and this mysteriousness and this thing that's out there in the night. But honestly, the movie kind of goes to hell once they bring the Wolfman out and you see him. It's almost like a party trick, almost like it's cool when you don't see it and it's mysterious and it's just this thing, and then like actually when you see it, it's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah. But yeah, the actual plot is the same in any of these Wolfman films. Like, guy comes to a town, he gets bit by the wolf, he turns to the wolf, he has to fight the wolf that bit the wolf, and blah blah blah. Right. So like, there's nothing new here. Anthony is his name Anthony Hopkins? Yeah, it is Anthony Hopkins. Yeah. He's been playing like the same role since Silence of the Lambs, in my opinion, and I'm kind of getting sick of it because I've seen him through generations at this point, and he's always just like this super over verbiage guy that's trying to sound super wise and smart and cautious and, oh, you better do this and slicing the lima beans, like all that shit. Like, nigga, like we get it, bro. Like you're Sir Anthony Hopkins. Like, we get it, okay. Um, and Benedict Del Toro, I don't think he's like a leading man. Like, he's low key boring. As like a leading man, and it it's kind of hard to be boring, especially in this when like you're the victim, right? Like everything's pointing for you to win. Like the first time we see you, like you're coming home because your brother got killed by a werewolf, and then you get bitten, and then you get turned. Like we're supposed to care about you, but we really don't. Yeah. Anyway, this is pretty bad. This is a bad movie.
Really,
Okay,
it's
okay,
bad.
okay,
Wow.
okay. It's not a bad movie. This is aggressively mediocre, and I gave it a C minus. I was very disappointed in this movie, The Wolfman, 2010. My opinion.
Interesting. I remember watching it one time, and around that time when it came out, I remember enjoying it. I remember one scene in particular is when he's transforming while he's tied up, like in front of like a courthouse or whatever. Or did that happen? He's tied up.
So
And he's
mhm.
transforming. That
it
happened,
was
right?
it was in a lab because they were trying to convince him
Okay.
that he was crazy. They had him in
Mhm.
like a lab, and they were like, "We're going to sit you right here in front of this full moon, and we're going to make sure that you know that you're not going to transform." He transforms. He kills like one person, which was so lackluster, and he just runs out. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was, I had my hopes up for that scene because unlike something like Halloween, like the movie Halloween, where I believe Michael Myers is more slow build, methodical. He may kill a person or two, and then he moves on. In a movie like this, I want the violence. Like I want the over the top, like heads ripping off. Like show me punch somebody. Like I want all that. And there were there was one scene in the beginning where I got it, but pretty much throughout the entirety of the film, I didn't. And I was just like, what is this? Like, but whatever.
Okay, so you wanted Halloween Kills energy. If I recall, the Wolfman was
Mhm.
more of like a character study, more so than like a slasher, rip 'em up kind of movie. But I could be wrong. I haven't seen it since 2010. Okay, interesting. I watched Hubie Halloween yesterday for the first time, the Adam Sandler movie. Oh my god, it was so bad
Hubie
on
Halloween. I
Netflix.
don't think I've ever even heard of that. Okay.
It's one of those Adam Sandler movies where he brings all his friends, like Ben
Mhm.
Stiller and Kevin James, and they all just do stupid shit. But it was so bad.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk some DC and Marvel news. Aquaman apparently was the set of Aquaman 2 was
did
hell.
you did you read the
Apparently,
article?
no, I didn't read the article. I just read the clickbaity shit. So please
Okay.
correct me then. Please correct me
I
if I'm
will.
what I say is wrong. Apparently, Amber Heard, who plays Mara in the movie, her former boyfriend Elon Musk had one of his litigators send a scorched earth letter to Warner Brothers, threatening to burn the house down, quote unquote, if she wasn't brought back for the Aquaman sequel. That it was reported by Variety magazine. Is any truth to that?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Okay,
No. That was in the
okay,
article. Yeah.
okay. Okay, that's just funny to me. Elon Musk was like, "Y'all gonna put my bitch in this movie, or my ex bitch," which is kind of crazy. Um, Jason Momoa reportedly dressed like Johnny Depp on set and pushed to have Amber Heard fired for her role in Aquaman 2. Once again, according to Variety, you're shaking your head. This isn't true, I assume.
Yeah. So so this is one of those things that people read on the surface level from an article, and they try to flip it into something that it's not. So Jason Momoa didn't show up dressed as fucking Captain Jack Sparrow or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm thinking that in my head. Like, this nigga, like, ooh,
like no,
yeah,
that's
bitch, you lost the
no.
case, bitch.
That'd be fucking crazy. No, that's. I mean, look. According to the article, anyway, because obviously I don't fucking know. I read the article, guys. According to the article, that's not exactly what happened. He did show up to set drunk, and I guess that reminded Amber Heard of Johnny Depp
She's always playing
for
the
whatever
fucking victim.
reason.
Like, oh my gosh, like shut the fuck up, bitch.
For whatever reason, yeah, and people are just like, oh, he dressed up as Johnny Depp. Like, wait, that's not no, that's not it. That's not what happened. But yeah, whatever.
So his drunkenness reminded her of the abuse Johnny Depp was giving her when he was drunk.
Correct.
Oh man, I would have loved the Jack Sparrow story so much better.
This nigga showed up. Mike. Like, no, come on, man. That's crazy. Right.
Also, speaking of Jason Momoa, apparently he's rumored to either appear as Lobo in the new DCU universe by James Gunn, which will appear in either Superman Legacy as Lobo or his own standalone film. This is kind of messy to me, messy casting, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think both of us are in the same frame of thought. Whereas, like, if you play a super important character in one franchise, you can't just jump ship and go to the other. That's my opinion anyway. Like Henry Cavill, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, like you niggas can never go to the other side and play like another major character. That's
I mean,
just
he's
my
on the
opinion.
same side. He's on the same side technically. It's still DC.
You're absolutely right,
It's
but
just the new
it's
universe of
yeah, it's
DC.
a
You
new
know,
universe, so yeah,
it's like
whatever.
it's
I
like the
mean, look,
MCU being rebooted, and well, Chris Evans did it. Shit, Chris Evans did it when he became Captain America from Human Torch. So I didn't have
I
any
mean,
problem with
but
that.
that wasn't the MCU. That was Fox being Fox, and then. But I mean,
So
yeah,
what?
whatever. You're right. This is DC on DC crime. So should I care? Probably not. But I fucking do. I don't want this nigga
And
playing Lobo.
I mean, his Aquaman is pretty much Lobo anyway already. Like, like, that's just fucking Lobo. Like,
That's where I was going next. And I want everybody to know that there's literally going to be no difference between what he's been doing as Aquaman and what he's going to do with Lobo. Like, this nigga is going to show up on his bike talking about, hey, the main man is here.
man.
Like, that's all it's going to be.
So,
Like,
so
yeah.
Aquaman. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
He's just not going to have a trident and tattoos. That's it.
Speaking of Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers is starting to reach so many levels of getting on my nerves. An animated Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe movie was pitched, and Warner
Mm-hmm.
Brothers said no. I would have loved to see that. Just to curiosity, it could be some Elseworld shit, who cares? Like, but just to see Scorpion fighting Batman, and that'd be super cool to me. Would you want to see that?
I think so, but I probably wouldn't have watched it if they put it out. To be completely honest, because I'm not a big fan of seeing the characters I love be destroyed like that. So like there would have inevitably been something where they would have killed Flash, or I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Flash get fatality. So I probably wouldn't have watched it if I'm being real.
The only issue with that, well, not issue, I guess, is that you couldn't have like a character like Superman or Wonder Woman in there because they're just too OP. I guess they could fight Raiden maybe, but then you got to boost
Superman
up Raiden.
collapse.
I know, but I'm saying like just to make it fair, like just boost up Raiden stats, just for this one movie. Who cares? It's some standalone movie, Make Raiden a true god that Superman has issues with. Anyway,
Mm.
I would have loved to have seen it personally, but yeah,
That's probably the biggest reason why they didn't do it. They're just like, what are we gonna do when Superman shows up? Or even
yeah.
like John Jones. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? The Martian Manhunter. It's over for the Mortal Kombat universe. So, yeah.
Okay. Kraven the Hunter was originally pitched as the main villain for Spider-Man No Way Home, but the writers were told that the character was unavailable until Sony established him in a solo movie. Goddamn Sony. What are your thoughts on this?
In hindsight, I think it may have been the right decision. I appreciated them going with all of the villains that were familiar, because it tied into the familiarity of Toby and Andrew being back. So I'm not sure that introducing a new guy like Craven at that moment would have been right. He probably would have been hella overshadowed by Norman or Doc Ock or whoever is back, anyways. Damn. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't do it yet. About to fucking die. Jesus.
That's Jesus Christ. I had the impression that they just meant Craven like before they were able to sign on Toby and Andrew, and before that was even a possibility. They were just going to do like a Craven movie, which I would have definitely loved. But like you, I love the fact that we were able to get Toby, Andrew, and Tom all in the same movie. So yeah.
Yep.
Marvel. So we got some big news in terms of the new Daredevil series with Charlie Cox coming. That shit always gets me.
Charlie
Um,
Cox, baby.
Marvel found that Daredevil Born Again, the new Daredevil series coming to Disney Plus, was not working because it was more of a legal procedural that did not resemble the Netflix version's action and violence. Apparently Cox would not have appeared in costume until episode 4, and Marvel has let go all their writers and directors for Daredevil Born Again as part of a significant creative reboot of the series. So this is a crazy overhaul that they've done, but it sounds like it's in the right, in the best decision, to do this.
Yeah, I mean, how bad does something have to be for Kevin Feige to be like this? This shit sucks. Because I mean, some of the things that he has looked at in past, and that have put out have been terrible in our eyes. So, I mean, yeah, I don't even want to know. Like, I'm glad that everybody involved is fired. This does suck because obviously we were supposed to get 18 episodes in January of next year, 2024. Yeah, so that's not happening. But whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. I am not expecting this Marvel show to be able to do what the Netflix show did. Like I'm just not. It's two different styles. This is Disney that we're dealing with. And anybody that thinks that this is going to be as good as or as dark or as gritty as Netflix was able to do, you're fooling yourself. Like I'm sorry, but you are. I do think that this is still going to be very good, and I'm glad that they were able to identify that they were having issues and that it's getting formulaic and that people are noticing. But I just hope that it doesn't end up in development hell like Blade is, and that like I eventually get to see it, because this is like the worst time for this to happen, especially with all the strikes going on. Like there's nothing they can do now anyway. But yeah, man, I mean this is just is very unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but hopefully in 2 or 3 years when we actually get to see it, this will be a blessing in disguise. So what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, do what's best, even if it sucks in the meantime, whatever is going to be the best product, to put out. And apparently also the Wonder Man series has also been canceled. It was rumored to have been canceled.
Yeah.
And I believe they had Yaya was attached to that, I believe. So another actor jumping ship, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, he played fucking Black Manta, so who cares about that?
Who cares indeed. Speaking of creative overhauls, Marvel Studios plans to make changes on how it makes TV shows going forward following internal criticism. Shows will no longer have proper shows will now have proper showrunners that will write the pilots and show bibles, and the focus on multi-season serialized TV rather than just like a limited series. So maybe they've been hearing our complaints. Let's see. What are your thoughts?
It took what? How many shows are we at? It took like over 10 shows.
No, it hasn't been 10 shows. It's been like 7 shows, 6, 7 shows.
It's been 4 years at least for the past 3 years, right?
WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion. So that's 8.
Wow. Okay,
And
so it's
now
been
Loki
8.
season 2, I guess,
And
if you count
then
that.
we still had Echo that was about to come out, and we're doing Loki season 2 now, so that's 10. So yeah, that's crazy. It took them 10 shows and over 3 years to realize that we can't just keep doing the same formulaic bullshit. It's weird that they've decided to never have showrunners. Like I don't know. But yeah, look, it looks like our cries for help are finally being heard. We are not the only ones with these complaints about every single one of these Disney Plus shows. So hopefully this actually helps, and we can get better content moving forward.
I kind of don't. The only issue I have I like the idea overall, but I don't like the idea of multi-season serialized TV rather than limited series, because I feel like a limited series you're able to tell more of a complete story. I
Are
don't
you?
want. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like with some shows it makes sense to do serialized TV, like maybe like a She-Hulk, because it's just so fun to like revisit that. But like, I feel like limited shows too get like higher budgets and there's more effort in telling I don't know. I don't want fucking 8 seasons of fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, I think one season is good if you do it right, and then it can lead into a bigger movie or something like that. But that's just me. Um, Marvel is apparently looking at using Avengers: Secret Wars to soft reboot the MCU. There's a quote that says, "We have a quote from Kevin Feige, sort of implying as much." Um,
I don't even know what that means. Soft reboot. What does that even mean?
I kind of just take it as like, so we had the Infinity Saga or whatever, and now they're trying to now things have kind of died down. They're trying to ramp back up for Kang. Maybe Secret Wars can be like the new core of Avengers. Like there's no Black Widow, Hawkeye, Cap, Hulk or whatever, but it's like a way to introduce like a new core and have like almost like a new phase one where things feel like small against that way they can build to something that's really big. I don't know.
That sounds ridiculous. There could be no reboots in this. It either ends or it doesn't. I don't.
No,
I don't
it
think.
says soft reboot. No, not like an actual reboot.
Yeah, soft reboot, hard reboot. No, there's no reboot. It goes on until it ends, or that's it. I don't. You can't. You can't just tell me. Oh, all of a sudden, yeah, Thor and all of them. Yeah, they're just gone now. They're not coming back anymore. This is the new Team Avengers. No, why? Why? Because you want to soft reboot this? No, Kevin fucking Feige, bitch. Get some fucking help. Take some time off. Recharge your batteries and get back to it, or end it. End it. How about
They'll
that?
never end it.
They're not. They're not gonna end it. Come on, dude. We're gonna be fucking 90 years old. Like fucking Avengers 47. Like, oh my god. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Some more. This is interesting. This is one of the funniest shit I've read in a long time. So Matthew Vaughn, who I'd said directed, the Kingsman movies and X-Men First Class, he quit directing X-Men Last Stand because apparently executives wrote a scene in the movie to trick Halle Berry into signing on to the movie. There's a quote that said Africa storm, kids dying of no water. She creates a thunderstorm and saves all these children. I went, what the fuck is this? They said, oh, it's Halle Berry's script. I went, okay, because she hasn't signed up yet. The exec said, but this is what she wants it to be, and once she signs it, we're gonna throw that motherfucker in the bin. These niggas baited Halle Berry into coming on to do X-Men 3 by giving her an Africa storyline where she's some kind of savior. And they said, we gonna trick this nigga. We gonna trick this monkey.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Basically, yeah. They
Dark,
say you
Dark,
want to
Dark
do
Phoenix,
what?
bitch. Dark Phoenix, bitch.
You want to do what? You want to go where? You want to showcase Africans in Africa being saved? You want niggas to look heroic on the big screen in X-Men 3?
Like, nigga,
Fuck
we
outta
catching a
here.
light skinned storm for a reason, nigga. We don't want no ties with
Come on, leave Halle Berry alone. That's funny.
that's nuts. And shout out Matthew Vaughn for having some kind of, I guess, morality there. But that's just a crazy way to bait an actor into coming onto a movie.
No, it really is. I mean, she could have quit though if that was actually the case. Like if it was in her contract to be like, yeah, we're doing this scene, and they were like, no, she could like, okay, I'm out. But yeah, she
Not
did
the contract, but it was just in the script. But yeah. And last bit of Marvel news, guys: the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse releases October 31st on Netflix. This is still currently my movie of the year, best movie of the year I've seen so far. Guys, if you have not watched this movie, watch it. First of all, you should have watched it in theaters, but fine, watch it on Netflix if you have to, and watch the first one, Into the Spider-Verse if you hadn't watched that one yet, so you can have full context. I think it's really worth it. Julian, any thoughts on that?
Movie was just okay to me. So no,
Yeah.
not really.
Okay. Now it's tidbit time. Yay, tidbit time.
Okay, titties.
A24 is looking to expand into making more commercial films and is searching for action and big IP projects. So for those who don't know, A24 is a movie studio that puts out a lot of these lower budget movies, a lot of original content like Everything Everywhere All at Once, Moonlight, all that shit. So they're trying to expand and become like a Warner Brothers, I guess. What are your thoughts on this, Julian?
I mean, it's the natural progression of any business. You want to grow and evolve and get bigger and do more things. You know, obviously, we hope that they still, at heart, make films that we've both been enjoying over these past few years. And I don't know. I took this news much more optimistically than you did. I feel like this is a great thing, and this, they can still do the kind of films that we've been enjoying and do the big budget action pieces too. I don't see why they can't do both. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that this is mostly a good thing in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, so as a big fan of A24 Studios, I like to laugh about them all the time and laugh at them or whatever, but this is kind of scary to me just because yes, you're right, it is the natural progression of a business to try to expand and get big as they can. But I just think they've been so important to the film landscape over the last couple of years, you know, because we get is these big MCU, Star Wars kind of movies and all these franchises, and A24 is, you know, has been that steady rock for us. It's just giving us original movies, and so I, the part that scared me was just the big IP projects part. Like, are they going to try to tackle IP now? Like, I don't know. I just don't want them to lose focus and lose their heart. But who knows? We will see. Netflix is set to open their first permanent retail outlets. They are described as mini theme parks that will serve food and drink and sell merchandise and include immersive installations for popular Netflix titles. So Netflix is trying to take full advantage of these big IP they have, of this big IP they have. So what are your thoughts on this?
Again, this is another natural progression. I feel like I was surprised they haven't done this sooner or like years ago. Maybe it was in their plans before the pandemic. I don't know, but um, yeah, I mean, like this gives people a dedicated place to go to get merch. Or I'm sure you could do like pop ups with, you know, maybe actors that they're under contract with. Uh, I don't know. This could be like the start of something really huge for them. I mean, why not? Let's do it. Especially if they're getting
Yeah,
into video games and stuff too. This could be another way to sell stuff like that. So yeah, I like it.
yeah, it totally makes sense to capitalize on their huge IP like Stranger Things and Wednesday and you know shit the kids eat up. Mini theme parks is kind of cool. That way they don't have to lease out their properties to Universal and Disney. They can be like, hey, we got our own Stranger Things horror nights over here. So
Yep.
makes sense. And then I'm looking forward to it, I guess. This is actually really interesting to me. The movie that I love, one of my favorite movies of all time, Stomp the
Roll
Yard,
bounce. Oh,
was originally pitched as a sequel to You Got Served. Chris Brown's character was going to be one of the members from the main crew, and You Got Served. And that was and DJ, who played by Columbus Short, who's the main character in Stomp the Yard, was going to be like that was like the spinoff way to go into the sequel of You Got Served too. So that's just so interesting to me. Any thoughts on that?
uh, two of my favorite. I mean, they're not two of my favorite movies. So yeah, I think I remember this conversation where I was just like, yeah, I don't really care about these niggas over here dancing. But I did enjoy You Got Served. What was the other one? Stomp the Yard. Yeah, I think I may have seen that once. I was just like, this shit is
Yeah.
ass. My opinion.
Highly recommend you watch Stomp the Yard. That's why that movie's so good because this is about so much more than just niggas dancing, and just like Roll Bounce is about so much more than niggas skating. Drumline is about so much more than niggas drumming.
Is it though?
Um, it really is. It really is. Those movies hold such a
Uh,
place in my heart. Anyway, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling will reunite again in a 1960s love story, Ocean's 11 prequel. So, are you a fan of the Ocean's franchise, and do you want to see Margot and Ryan back?
I would love to see them back, but I am not a fan of the Ocean's franchise. Never have been. Don't think I ever would be, which is weird because I love me an action movie and I love me an ensemble. But I I I think it's because it's been so historically white that I could just never get into it. I'm being brutally honest. Like there's just so many white actors there, and you know that's cool for the people who enjoy that. But I need me some flavor. That sounded crazy, but that's my truth.
All right, Flavor King. Um,
Do you
I,
know that people like never watch Game of Thrones because they say that there's no black people in it? Like that's like a real explanation that somebody gave me once.
I mean, I can totally see somebody saying that, but I mean, it's still the best show of all time in my opinion. So I get it.
Okay, ignorance.
But that's why they have characters like Masande and Grey Worm to
Hmm.
hook those little those
Hmm.
little stragglers, you know, viewers. But yeah, and also in the reboot not reboot, but House of Dragon, there's no
The
reason
black,
in hell why they should be black, but
the Black
they are.
Valerians.
They are because I'm sure they heard a complaint to those niggas.
No, they did.
Anyway,
So we got something for
uh,
you.
I actually love Damon. Not Damon, the black. What's his name? The sea snake. I like his character a lot. Um, Jada Pinkett Smith says that her and Will Smith have been separated since 2016. This is the tabloidy part of the pod. That's just nuts to me. She's been putting this man through hell. Um, Basically, she said in an interview, basically like, I don't know why he said like, keep my wife's name in your mouth because I wasn't his wife at the time. Like, Will Smith is my favorite actor, and she's just putting this man through just the worst kind of shit, and it's just getting weird at this point. Any thoughts on this at all?
Yeah. So stuff like this, I like actively avoid on social media. I'm not a big gossiper. I don't give a fuck about what celebrities do in their personal lives. This is weirdo behavior, but like, do I care enough to like comment on it? I don't. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. My theory is that her new Red Table Talk podcast just got it's returning for 2024. It just got announced, and she's got a book coming out. So I'm thinking it's all pub and just
It
trying to
is.
get attention, which is
Yep.
even worse in my opinion. But yeah, poor Will Smith. Poor Will Smith. Um, this is kind of sad. Well, not sad. I mean, I saw it happening, but Michael Caine has officially retired. His quote was, "The only parts." Oh, I'm sorry. His quote was, "The only parts I'm liable to get now are 90-year-old men, so I thought I might as well leave with all this." My Alfred forever, still the best Alfred I've seen on screen in my opinion. And just he's done a lot of great work just besides that. Like I love him in Secondhand Lions and so many other things, and
Now you
all the
see
Chris
me.
Nolan, all the Chris Nolan movies, and he's just so good. He's a treasure.
Yeah. Shout out to what's his name again?
Michael Caine.
Yeah, I was about to call this nigga Alfred. You fucked me up. Yeah, Michael Caine. It is it's a funny quote. But I mean it's real to an extent. And if he's 90, he's more than deserved to rest on his laurels and enjoy his life. So shout out to Michael Caine, man. He will be missed for sure.
May those last 3 years be amazing.
What?
Let's talk
What?
trailer. Let's talk trailers, guys. This first trailer is a big trailer. This is a huge trailer. Came out of nowhere for Dragon Ball Daima. Daima?
Sure. I don't
No.
know.
It's releasing fall of next year. Apparently, this is a whole new Dragon Ball series, guys. It's not Super. This shit is something completely different. Came out of nowhere. I didn't know it was even coming out. I don't know if you may have heard about it, but what are your
Nope.
thoughts on this? As a huge Dragon Ball fan,
Yeah, it looked ass. I mean, we've been down this road before of Goku being turned into a kid in Dragon Ball GT. But look, I'm going to watch this literally every week. And once it's over, I'm going to give a full review of it. But am I expecting much from this based on that 3 minute trailer? I'm not. I'm really not sure what's the appeal of turning them into kids. Like I don't really understand. Akira Toriyama is spearheading this. He's doing everything. So shout out to him, I guess. But why are we not getting the Dragon Ball Super manga animated? Like, what is taking so long? We are literally like 2 arcs ahead of where the anime left off, and we're still not getting it. We need to hurry up before fucking Masako Nozawa dies. She's like 80. What the fuck are we doing? But that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna watch it as soon as it comes out. The trailer did not excite me. I don't know why they're kids. They made Goten and Trunks babies. Niggas are so mad at that. Like, apparently there's like Goten and Trunks fans. Like, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, they're never gonna shine. Like, what? But
you're so
yeah, I mean,
disrespectful.
no, like who the fuck is a fan of Goten and Kid Trunks? Like, what?
Me.
Oh my god.
Remember, I just said on the last pod, like my favorite fusion is Gotenks.
Okay, that's a fusion. That's different.
Okay, but
But
I love them
these
together.
niggas are mad at them separately. Like, no, Goten and there's Kid Trunks. Like, what? Fuck out of here. I'm
So,
sorry.
timeline wise, where is this taking place?
I don't know. I'm going to
Okay.
assume after Super, but I have no idea. It could be right before Z or right after Z. I don't know.
So first of all, I just want to say that I love the animation. It looks beautiful, and whether it looks like it's more like it looks more drawn than Super. I don't know. That's a fair assessment. But I have a coworker at work who's like he's like you. He's a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. He gave me his theory on why this is happening. So his
Okay.
theory is that in the manga, it's getting really dark after the Tournament of Power arc, and he said that Dragon Ball is trying to appeal to two different audiences. So they're going to release this Daima for the kids, and he said like apparently Super has been very like not as adult as it has been in the manga, and so he said this is their way of trying to alleviate those complaints by having Super be more geared towards adults with like more like blood and violence and more like adult themes, and have this new Daima show for the younger kids who enjoy Dragon Ball Z. That's his theory. I thought it was a pretty good theory. Do you have any thoughts on that?
If that's true, fuck these kids and fuck whoever's idea that is. These niggas can go watch Dragon Ball if they want something for kids. They can go watch Dragon Ball GT. Akira Toriyama needs to focus all his time with Dragon Ball Super. So I really hope that's not true. But
It's
then
just
again,
his theory, like some random coworker of mine. Like I'm just
no, no,
saying.
no, no, yeah, no. I'm just saying, but like his theory probably has some merit because from a business standpoint, when corporations are involved in Toei Animation and Crunchyroll and Funimation and all these people have their hands in this big pie of Dragon Ball. This is one of the biggest IPs in anime, if not the biggest. And I'm sure there's so many people whispering in Akira Toriyama's ear, like, we need something for the kids. And, we can still do Dragon Ball Super down the line. Don't worry. Um, I don't want that to be true because I just want the content. But there's probably some truth to that, unfortunately.
All right, we got 3 movie trailers here. The first one is Chris Evans and Emily Blunt star in the new trailer for Pain Hustlers. This is coming out October 27th on Netflix. Any thoughts on this trailer?
Pain Hustlers. What is this?
It's like the Wolf of Wall Street for women, pretty much. That's what I got out of it from the trailer.
Oh, this
Wait,
is the
don't
one
you?
where she's
She's
a salesman, and
salesman.
she's
Yes.
like making a whole bunch of money. Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to Emily Blunt. Shout out to Chris Evans. This looked boring as fuck, just like Wolf of Wall Street did. Not gonna watch this. Sorry.
Okay. Well, first of all, Wolf of Wall Street is an absolute classic.
That's your opinion.
Second of all, movies about sales like this and Wolf of Wall Street give me so much PTSD because I was in the sales world for quite a bit, and but it's really how these niggas be acting, bro. Like these white people,
Hmm.
they go crazy over this money, bro.
Hmm.
I'll give them that. And so I'll be watching this. I like Emily Blunt a lot, and like we got Chris Evans doing something different. It seems like so. I'll check it out. We have a trailer for a movie called Eileen, starring Anne Hathaway. It comes out December 1st. It's kind of like a thriller, maybe horror. Any
Yeah,
thoughts on this?
I couldn't get the vibe of the movie from the trailer,
Same.
but maybe that was intentional. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like psychological thriller is what flashed on the screen, but I didn't really get that vibe from it either. Uh, so I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just her go at an Oscar, but I can't say that this looked interesting. If I'm being real, like I'm not sure that I'll be rushed to the theaters or whatever streaming service this is on to watch this. What about you? What'd you think?
Yeah, so it's coming to theaters December 1st. I just didn't see enough from the trailer. I actually like the other actress as well, the main actress, Thomasin McKenzie. She was in Jojo Rabbit and Last Night in Soho, which came out last year, I believe. It's like she's really talented as well. But yeah, I need to just see more before I make a decision on pulling the trigger and going to the movies because I just didn't get anything from this trailer. And the last trailer here, guys, is for The Iron Claw in theaters December 22nd. Zac Efron is back, baby, as well as Jeremy Allen from The Bear. They're playing the Von Erich family. I never heard of them before. I know you're into wrestling. Have you heard of the Von Erich family?
Of course, yeah, of course.
Okay. What are your thoughts on this trailer?
The trailer looked interesting. It's telling
It's
a
A24, right?
story. I think it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's telling a story that wrestling fans already pretty much know. The Von Erichs are one of the most successful tag teams, wrestling families, in wrestling history. It's funny because the Von Erichs they're really based in like Dallas, Texas, near the old Sportatorium. That's where like Stone Cold Steve Austin first watched wrestling, and like that's where he loved. That's where he like grew up and loved professional wrestling. It was watching the Von Erichs in the Sportatorium in Dallas. So there's like a lot of history here between Carrie. I think it's Carrie Terry and something Von Erich. I can't remember.
And scary.
You're funny. But yeah, look, I mean, their story is a good story to tell on TV or film or whatever this is going to be. This is a film, I believe.
Yes.
So yeah, let's do it. Shout out to Zac Efron for getting ripped for this.
Ooh.
Um, That nigga said, "What?" That nigga said, "Ooh, ooh." That's crazy.
That
Wow.
reaction was actually nuts. That reaction was nuts. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I can't say that I'm like excited for this or that I'm gonna check for this day one because I pretty much know it. But it does look like Zac Efron's gonna get in a lot of character work here. So yeah, I'll check it out. What do you think? Aside
This
from
looks
Zac
super.
Efron.
This looks super interesting to me, bro. I have no idea about the Von Erichs. Even if this was like a fictional movie, I would like. This looks like just a great story. I don't know. Zac
Okay.
Efron needs to redeem himself from Firestarter because that shit was like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Did you ever watch that?
I didn't. You told me
Please,
it was a fucking F or a D. I was like, I'm
yeah,
not watching it then, bro.
F F
It's F.
F F. That shit was so bad, bro. But anyway, Zac Efron, like he got ripped, bro. Even Jeremy
Mhm.
Allen, from
Yeah.
The Bear, like, and there's a scene in The Bear season 2 when Carmy takes his shirt off. I'm like, why is this nigga this fucking ripped? I guess it makes maybe he was filming this or getting ready to prepare for this, but
Yeah.
like both of these dudes are like in shape, man. And yeah, so are you? It kind of looks like one of those movies where it's like a more like a character
Rise and
study, I
fall.
guess. Rise and
Hmm.
Fall character study, and I don't know. I'm always a sucker for those kind of movies. And last bit of news here, guys, is Best Buy plans to stop selling physical media such as 4K Blu-rays and DVDs possibly as soon as the end of quarter 1 of next year. This is the end of an era.
Yeah, man. This is literally the end of an era. I mean, we've been through so much as millennials, like from floppy disks to CD ROMs, having a fucking CD player, MP3 players,
Yeah, man.
iPods, to DVDs, to Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays, and like it's all gone. Like we've lived through it all in 30 years. But yeah, I mean, I haven't bought a Blu-ray since I think Endgame came out, and that was only because I wanted the extras. Like I didn't really care to have it. Like I wanted the behind the scenes and the extras, but they put all that shit on Disney Plus now anyway. So
Right,
what's the
right.
fucking point of having any of this stuff? I mean, like obviously, if you're a collector, you're a collector, and you want the physicals, and sorry, go to Amazon or something. I don't know, but Best Buy is like, we can use this space for something else. So I get it. I get it. They can't be selling well. Like they literally can't be. So I get it.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I don't see a reason to ever have any kind of physical copy of anything. But like you said, for collectors, but I guess there are enough collectors out there to keep the shit going.
No, there
And
really isn't.
Activision Blizzard boss says that what a funny title. The reemergence of Guitar Hero is coming. So all my Guitar Hero fans out there, you guys are
Mm.
getting some new. Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
thing I want to say before we get out of here, Spider-Man 2 is coming out this Friday,
Hmm.
October 20th. I can't fucking wait. All these memes I keep seeing on TikTok are just they're just giving me life, man. They're cracking me the fuck up. I'm so excited for this game. So yeah, thanks, Monty. You're the best.
I'll be watching the storyline on YouTube. Can't
Yes,
wait.
sir. Ski. Wait, did you ever watch
Yes,
Mortal
sir.
Kombat 1?
No, I'm going to. I have it in my notes on my phone.
Of course you do. All right, man.
Of course you do.